मुझे करना। Hello, should we start?
Good afternoon, Professor M. Rizwan Khan, distinguished participants and partakers. I am delighted to take this opportunity to open the second week of International Faculty Development Program on Emerging Trends in English Literature, organized by the Department of Languages, Integral University. I extend sincere gratitude to Founder Chancellor, Integral University, and Chief Patron of IFDP, Professor S.W. Akhtar, Pro Chancellor and Patron, Dr. Saeed Nadeem Akhtar, Vice Chancellor and Chairman, Professor Javed Musarrat, Dean Humanities and Social Sciences, Integral University, and Chairperson, Dr. Shahid Ali Khan, Head, Department of Languages and Convener, Dr. H.M. Arif Naqvi, Assistant Professor, Department of Languages and Convener, Dr. Arina Nazneen, and the academic citizens, that is the participants of International Faculty Development Program, for being the indispensable support for the successful completion of the Week 1 of IFD program. English literature, since its conception, has debated, dissected, and explored and represented various facets of human experiences that has shaped the socio-cultural and political existence of man. In recent times, it has embraced the multidisciplinary collaborations and voiced the unheard, the unsaid, repressed, and the uncharted horizons of human subsistence. The Week 1 of International Faculty Development Program ventured to explore the aforementioned trends of English literature. Our illustrious speakers of Week 1, Professor Manojit Mandal, Professor Devdulal Halder, Professor Elisabetta Marino, Professor Om Prakash Dwivedi, and Professor Niladri R. Chatterjee foregrounded some of the pressing issues of English literature, such as reimagination of nationhood and nationalism, eco-critical concerns, non-documented migrants, precarious lives, and queer theory. Week 2 aimed to pick up the thread of emerging trends of English literature, and thus today's profound session will investigate the interplay of digital and humanities. Digital humanities is a broader approach to designing a digital future with respect to human needs. It is the result of the hitherto non experienced convergence between a complex cultural heritage and a technology that has produced a social sphere that has no precedent. This convergence, instead of simply forming a link between antiquity and now, has redistributed concepts, categories, and objects, as well as behaviors and associated practices in all new environment. Digital humanities is the affirmation that current technology in its global dimension is a culture in that it creates a new context on a global scale. Now, without further ado, I invite convener IFDP, Dr. Arina Nazneen, to begin this noteworthy session by welcoming our esteemed speaker of the day, Professor M. Rizwan Khan. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks much, Ms. Vanya, for giving me this opportunity. I am highly honored and feel privileged to have been given the opportunity to welcome our speaker of the day. On the behalf of the Department of Languages Integral University, I cordially welcome Professor Muhammad Rizwan Khan in the second week of the International Faculty Development Program. Sir is a noted academician and has contributed richly in the growth and expansion of English literature. Sir is a professor in the Department of English at Aligarh Muslim University with the experience of teaching and research of more than 3 decades. His areas of interest are linguistic imperialism, curriculum planning and syllabus designing, material production, evaluation of courses and materials, teacher education and literary theory, translation studies, and film studies. Sir holds rich exposure to international projects in language and literature studies, some awards and scholarship with mentioning are Indo-Hungarian Exchange Fellowship 2010, Assessor Award for Innovation in Teaching, and Certificate of Unit Credit for a National Vocational Qualification by Royal Society of Art, London 1998. In addition, he has delivered lectures, talks, courses, and seminars as a visiting fellow at the Department of Arts and Aesthetics at IULM University, Milan, Italy, and the Department of English and American Studies, University at Hungary. He has also taught English in Rizwan Technical Industries, Industrial College, Oman, and King Khalid University, Saudi Arabia. On extraordinary leave from Aligarh Muslim University, he has obtained postgraduate merit scholarship in 1985-87 as MA student. He has been constantly engaged in various academic activities as organizer, keynote speaker, discussant, teacher, educator, and editor, and author in series of national and international seminars, conferences, and workshops. His edited books such as Build Your Language, Improve Your Language, and Enrich Your Language, published by Cambridge University Press, and The Lasting Legacies of Mulk Raj Anand, a tribute are a remarkable contribution along with the dozens of his publications. Over the decades, he has earned credibility as an academic leader by virtue of his experience as director of Center for Distance Education AMU, coordinator for accreditation of AMU by NAC, manager of AMU School, director IQAC AMU, and chairperson Department of English AMU. As a chairperson Department of English, he came forward to implement innovative strategies such as open book examination produced for the first time at AMU, introduction of internship, seminar presentations, project dissertations, term paper, outreach activities, etc. Diagnostic test and remedial teaching, introduction of timeline for each semester in the light of academic calendar, major restructuring of UG, PG, PhD syllabi based on innovative practices like teachers' autonomy, open-ended syllabi, beyond classroom learning, incorporation of ICT, critical thinking, multiple intelligence, Bloom's taxonomy, etc. On the campus at AMU, he is also known for his active engagement in the public life on the campus. He has been an elected member of AMU Court, Joint Secretary, Secretary of AMU Teachers Association, and member of ACN Court. His today's session will add a new feather to the academic discourse. So, without wasting time, I would like to invite Sir to start or to begin a new way of critical thinking. The listener is yours, Sir.
Thank you. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. And can you see me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Um, at the outset, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor Javed Musarrat Sahab, uh, and the Dean, uh, Professor Dr. Shahid Ali Khan, and the head of Department of Languages for granting me, for giving me an opportunity to interact with the uh, participants during this tenure. I would also like to thank Dr. Arina Nazneen, who called me and made a couple of discussions with regard to the topic of the today's talk and various other discussions. And I would like to inform the House that when we talked about the moment I mentioned digital humanities, she grabbed it and she said that nothing doing. I will let me talk to the chairperson, the head of the department, and we will final it. So here I am today amongst you. I'm also thankful to co-convener Ms. Vania Srivastav and the members of organizing committee for this session. Thank you very much, everybody. Good noon to all of you. Um, uh, at the very outset, uh, I would like you to look at the slide which is in front of you. Can you see it? The first slide.
Yes, sir. It is
Okay.
visible.
So this is a picture of the archive in the Department of English, and you can see a radiogram. It's not a radio; it's a radiogram. There is a projector. There is a gramophone, and there are so many LPs, and you won't believe that these were purchased in the Department of English at Aligarh Muslim University in 1955. So, what do you call it? Shall we call it educational aids? Shall we call it educational technology? Shall we call it use of technology for education, for teaching literature? Any name that you give that come under, you know, under digital humanities. Uh, so, uh, actually, after post theory, what happened is that people are have initiated some areas of research such as digital humanities, environmental humanities, and such others. So uh, here I am. So I am going to share with you some of the uh, defining digital humanities, its features, its types, and some examples which are going on around the world with in the name of digital humanities. So let me go to the slide, and I go to the slideshow, and I go to the next slide. Can you see the next slide? Can you see the next slide?
No, sir. Next slide is not visible.
Okay. Let me do it like this now.
Yeah, yeah. Now it is visible. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not doing the slideshow. I'm using the PPT like that. Uh, Here is the slide where I have talked about defining digital humanities. You can see the first two lines in the slide. Use of digital tools in the analysis of literature, visual, and performing arts. Involves use of computer-related technologies in analysis, research, and production and publication. So, what is digital humanities? Something, some tools which are used, some technological tools which are used to understand humanities. Humanities refers to something related to humans, human life, and that I'm going to explain to you in some time. If you think of its origin, somewhere in 1940s, this emerged as a discipline, and I told you in my first slide that uh, uh, these uh, these aids, they were purchased in English department in 1955. So you can uh, uh, think of uh, the developments in the English departments side by side. Father Busa and his index is considered as one of the first works of digital humanities. But those days, it was not known as digital humanities. it was known as humanities computing. And this terminological shift from humanities computing to digital humanities is attributed to John Unsworthy, Susan, and Ray Siemens. And this was validated in 2005 by Blackwell Companion to Digital Humanities. This was the point of time when it announced that digital humanities is an umbrella term which covers a lot of aspects, lot of features, lot of issues coming under digital humanities. I will talk about that in the next slide. So these things were going on since 1940s, and there were a lot of developments which were going on until we had COVID into 2020 March, and this COVID remained for 2.5 years by now, and in this phase we shifted to digital humanities. We taught, we learned, we conducted tests, we submitted assignments, all online, all online. So, so what happened that this one of the positive aspects of COVID is the development of digital humanities in our discipline. Besides that, at the very same time in 2020, national education policy also emerged. One point that I would like to say that this before that, before 2020, the UGC, MHRD, Ministry of Education, they were all, encouraging the use of digital humanities in the name of MOOCs courses, SWAM programs, and so many other programs, online other programs. Uh, to the extent that they asked before COVID, they asked all the institutions to convert their courses to MOOCs, and they said that 20% of our courses should be MOOCs based, and they talked about credit transfer. Uh, uh, but what happened is that we did not listen to them, and finally we had COVID. And during COVID, after that, they have said that the national education policy, they came up with 4-year BA course. And 4-year BA course, when it came up, what happened? It talks of uh, the fourth year is going to be research based. We don't know the fate of a master's course. Um, it will be 1 year or it will be 2 years. Some people say that it will be 2 years for those who finish their BA in 3 years. But for those who finish their BA in 4 years, for them, masters will be 2 years. But we don't have any plans so far. So what I'm saying is that uh, that the because of national education policy, uh, even in national education policy 2020, there is a special stress on the development of digital humanities in so many ways. In so many ways. So this digital humanities is something collaborative, transdisciplinary, and computationally engaged research, teaching, and publishing. So, this is the whole background about digital humanities. Some BH marvels. I would like you to look at this slide. Uh, I have explained humanities. Humanities is what concerns humans. Anything. And digital humanities is a communion of technology and human concerns. Keeping these two definitions in mind, we can think of Stephen Hawking, who got his voice through digital transformation of his ideas into computerized audio technology. I'm sure you must have heard of Stephen Hawking, and he was a great scientist. He couldn't speak, but his ideas were converted um, into sounds, and he spoke. Various besides that, the other example is animated hieroglyphs of Egyptian pyramids. I will show you that in Egypt, in Egyptian pyramids, there are some of the expressions which nobody has been able to understand that. So what is happening, that people are taking pictures of the object and sharing it among experts, so that the original is not spoiled. So the copy is being given to the people. Here is an example of this thing. Okay, I will have to go to. Um, can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
It is
think
visible.
we should explore a few solutions. Grammarly suggestions catch when your tone might undermine your message.
So look at this. Can you see it? They are being scanned, and the copy is given to people for understanding, for understanding, um, for understanding the. Okay. So for understanding the language, uh, they take they scan it. They,
Business, a whole multi-billion-dollar industry, and there are centers all over the
what is
country.
this?
The North American blood market was valued at $3.3 billion in 2021, and America's blood makes up over 2% of U.S. exports. And since there is no substitute for
Sorry. Um, sorry about this. So what happened, that the writings in the pyramids, they were scanned, their pictures were made, and they were given to experts. Likewise, during digital technology, also there were a lot of evidence, and there was whole. I will share this also with you, and you can see it. Um, you can see it. Look at this. Um, Okay, it's not opening. Besides that, the other example is that of virtual reality. Virtual reality is, one example of virtual reality is projecting the architecture of a building, and you can advise the revision. You can advise the revision in that architecture. So there is a field, and you design, and you can project it over the screen, and you can see the whole the whole architecture of a house in a blank field. So that is an art, that is because of digital humanities. Sonification is another example of converting a picture into sounds, and a lot of works are going on in this lines. So these are the DH marvels, you know, and there are so many like this, which is there. The features of DH are so many. I have included three or four here. One is accessibility, where DH tools, with the help of DH tools, one can digitize the works of art and texts. Books can be converted into e-books or 3D. Cataloging, and so this is the possibility of this is for in the interest of accessibility. Another feature is malleability, where you catalog and digitize things, and DH allows learners to work on the copy and not the original, the thing that I was talking right now in the last slide. And with this thing is very practical. You can copy and you can spread the copies to n number of people. Interdisciplinarity is another example of DH. So nowadays we are talking of um, uh, 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 interdisciplinarity, multidisciplinarity. We are talking of these things. With the help, with because of these things, in our English department in Aligarh Muslim University, we have 200 more than 200 research scholars, and what we have done, we one of the members in RAC is considered from outside the department. And believe me, one of the RAC members in English department is from computer engineering. One is from electronic engineering. So you can think of, having a project with the help of engineers, doctors, and all that. So it's not necessary that you as a teacher are going to be an expert in DH tools. No, not necessary. You will be a literature person, and you can club with some specialization, some people from other disciplines, and you can develop your expertise. Um, Digital literature and its offshoots. I told you that uh, we thought of the humanities computing was started in 1940s, and 2005 it was called digital humanities. But under that, there are so many things, and I have included those things over here. In the name of digital literature, you have electronic literature, digital fiction, digital writing, digital literature, Twitter, WhatsApp literature, literary boards and artificial intelligence, Nexa, Siri, Cortana, memes, blogs, software studies, platform studies, and critical code studies. All these are in the name of literature. Then you have digital culture, and you have metaverse, online marketing, and all these things. You can see it here. We have gaming theory, gamification, augmented reality, gaming cultures, liminality, and spaces. Online publishing is another aspect. You can think of digital cataloging, archiving, publishing, data mining, and data manipulation. So all these come under digital humanities, and there are many more which I have not included over here. So such is the scope of digital humanities in today's world. And let me ask you one thing. In today's time, how many people have you seen who are reading hard copies of novels? Nowadays, Kindle is more popular. Uh, our students are making use of mobiles, uh, computers, hard copy. Today's time, hard copies have been have lost their uh, 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 gains. They are lost in the crowd. Today, we are more dependent on computer, mobile, and Kindle, and such aspects, such issues, such aspects. So uh, all these things are there, and you can think of doing. There are two phases: digital humanities, and digital humanities is something which is an extension of traditional humanities. That is why I have talked of two phases of digital humanities. First wave was quantitative, which includes application of digital tools in literary stylistics. I'm sure you have studied stylistics, how many times a preposition is used, how many times a conjunction is used, how many times some verb is used. These things are there. Text processing and text linguistics is the first phase. Second wave is qualitative, interpretative, experiential, emotive, and generative in character. So you can think of this. And besides that, you can also think of the another point that I have given over here, that digital humanities incorporates both digitized and born digital. Means there are some literature which are born digital, such as electronic literature, such as um, uh, 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 you know um, so they are born digital, and there are others which were in hard copy and they were later on digitized. uh, so uh, there are other things also. I'm giving you some examples over here with regard to English literature. Um, or the aspects which were covered in English department, such as computational linguistics. Computational linguistics deals with computational processing of a natural language processing, machine translation. Uh, Computational linguistics is known for these things. Theoretically, computational linguistics relates to linguistics, mathematics, logic, psychology, cognitive science, and theoretical computer science. But at an application level, it relates to computer science, user studies, artificial intelligence, and knowledge representation, lexicography, and language cargo. So there is a whole discipline in the name of computation linguistics, but now it is included into digital humanities. Uh, you must have heard of CALL, computer assisted language learning. uh, People talk of call, and nowadays people talk of mall. Mall, not that mall in the supermarket, but mobile assisted language learning. Mobile assisted language learning. Uh, Likewise, electronic literature. Electronic literature is also very much a part of digital humanities. I have referred to this over here. Uh, so these are some examples I talked to you about electronic literature, call, and also computational linguistics. And there are so many examples which you can think of, and you can bring it here. Um, uh, The importance of digital humanities in English department. I thought of that most of the people belonging to languages, they can think of digital humanities in their areas. So I have divided it into two, in pedagogy and in research. In pedagogy, you can think of electronic literature, digital literature, Twitter. Oh, I forgot the Twitter at that point of time. I was thinking of Twitter, WhatsApp literature. So you can think of teaching these content as a part of your syllabus. If you are thinking of introducing a syllabus in the name of digital humanities in your own department. Uh, Content generation is there in the name of in the form of ebooks, digital art, digital music, social media literature, and same thing is dissipation of the content. Is I told you, Kindle is the most popular nowadays, and we have some others also, like National Digital Library of India, Internet Archive, Hathi Trust, Google Classroom, video conferencing softwares, and these are modes of dissipation. uh, if you think of research, you can think of going for literary bots, artificial intelligence. In our English department, in Aligarh Muslim University, we some of our research scholars, they are they are working in such areas like artificial intelligence, digital humanities, electronic literature, and whatnot. So cataloging is there, and archiving is there. Archiving, you can see the Shodh Ganga in FlipNet, digital museums, digital music archives, streaming, Spotify, etc., etc. So these are the things. These are the buzzwords. These are the words of the future. If you think of a future of the English department in your country, you have to think of introducing digital humanities on these lines. And you have to explore these areas because most of the content today is being converted into digital humanities, into digital humanities. So, it's a very important part. Some examples of digital humanities in English literature. I want you to look at uh, this. You must have heard of Mrs. Dalloway, um, Virginia Woolf. I'm going to share a slide which is a part of this presentation.
विंडो मोड में है तो दिख नहीं रहा है ये सब, इसको हम शायद फुल स्क्रीन मोड में करना पड़ेगा शायद, जो आप दिखा रहे हैं लिंक
अच्छा,
पे।
इसको कर दो।
क्लास दिन की दिखा रहा है।
वो तो रहा है वहाँ दिख रहा है। Uh, I'm going to share the uh, PDF, and you see uh, that you see the mapping. Okay, let me okay. Can you see this?
Yes, sir, mapping.
Okay, mapping. So I'm going to talk about a paper which was published on Mrs. Dalloway. In that uh, in that novel, Virginia Woolf has talked about walks out of you know people. The characters went for walking for various reasons, and those reasons I am going to explain to you right now. The uh, the walks have been they were made in London, and in 1920s that walk was done, and today's time people are exploring that walk and has got to see that the walk was actually original walk. I mean, it is in a work of fiction, but it is the original walk. So that is what is explained in this mapping. Mapping Mrs. Dalloway, London as a network city. This is it. So uh, this is a network city. I'm not going to explain these things. I will go for this. So this is a map of London. This is a map of London. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a map of London, and Mrs. Dalloway. I mean, uh, you can see the red line in Figure 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is a walk by uh, Mrs. Dalloway. She goes for walking in London, walk from her home to Bond Street. To where? To Bond Street. This work was done. This research was done recently, but the novel was written in 1920s, and so the mapping is being done, and this is done by whom? Literary critics, people from literature, with the help of other experts from computers and other geography, computers, and etc. So you have to think of interdisciplinarity in your studies now. So Clarissa's work, a walk from her home to Bond Street, and this red color is there. Now you see another picture, Figure 3. This is a walk by Septimus Smith, and so you can see the extension of that walk. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see this walk. This was done by Septimus Smith, and this is walk by Peter Walsh. The morning path taken by Peter Walsh, and this is blue colored. This is blue colored. Can you
Yes, sir.
see this?
Yes, sir.
And now, so there are other walks, dotted walks, dotted walks. What are these walks? I will tell you in a moment. In a moment, okay? I'll tell you in a moment. Um, so then you have, so these walking styles that you saw, they were they had varied intentions. These varying intentions imply different motions and tempos of walking too, like purposeful, purposeful to get something. Clarissa's walk was to get something from some shop. Uh, to avoid something. Razia is to avoid something. Third is idling and wasting time. Peter. Adventuring across boundaries. Elizabeth. So the distinctive individual patterns need to be included in the same map. In the same map. Then now see this. Adding is about small sounds. You can see the circles. You can see the circles in the map. There are specific sounds on the street. Then this Big Ben. You know Big Ben, the watch, the clock, and the it expands all over London, and that is explained in this figure, adding the sound of Big Ben. And this yellow line, can you see the yellow line?
Yes, sir.
This is taxi. The taxi, the cars. Read the what is written on your left. The path of the official car elicit patriotic sentiments from observers of its route from Bond Street to Buckingham Palace. The flight to a sky writing plane with its barely legible letters. So what happening? You understand me? What is happening in this research? So any literature, like you can think of novels of Dickens. Dickens has talked about city of London, and his characters, they go from one place to the other place. You can think of a research by uh, by mapping the whole city. You understand me?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so this is it, and I just wanted to show that what type of research you can do in times to come. But this is what is going on. This is what is going on. Okay, so I cut it short. I cut it short. Um, okay. So uh, this is what I told you. Like that, there are literary experiments such as between page and screen. Between page and screen. Again, I will go for uh, look at this. What is the name of the book? Between Page and Screen is an augmented reality book of poems. What is happening here is that you look at this and see the impact. The the pages come out of on the screen. Look at this. The pages are coming on screen. This is very good for children. next is Barclay, Barclay Revolution. This is another project which was done in Barclay University. You can see this. So these are the projects done by students uh, about 2 decades, 1960s and 1970s. Of that point of time, the history has been transformed digitally. You can read the title, Barclay Revolution, a digital archive of the East Bay's transformation in the late 1960s and 70s. And these are the projects which were done at that point of time. You can see this.
The next song that I'd like to do is called "The Fury," and
This is something which was done by
Berkeley Women's Music Collective,
students.
or 3 members of the Berkeley Women's Music Collective, and me, 4 members, are going to do this song. Well, there is peace in my heart when I stop.
Likewise, you can go back, and you can think of something else. Um, you can think of anything. Uh, um, Threats of rebellion, and there is a whole documentation. Okay, so such projects are going on around the world, and this was done in Berkeley. So that's what I was talking to you. Then you have another example of look at the title, Spatial Humanities. Spatial Humanities. This is another project. This also comes under digital humanities. Spatial, space, from space, it is spatial. And all these names have been given under digital humanities and other examples. So the whole syllabus is done in a university, and this is a syllabus, and you can think of a syllabus which is online available. Everything is online available. Um, Likewise, you can think of um, uh, this is another example, Center of Digital Scholarship, and there is a whole link over here, and they give support to you, and you can see the list of the supports given over here. Okay. I have talked to you about so many things with regard to normal persons, but I have also included one slide for visually challenged persons, PWDs, and there are 2 examples There are two examples over here. I'm thankful to Bhupati who helped me in this to develop and there is a list of items which can be purchased and which can be used for their understanding. You know that visually impaired, they are using typing machine, they are using computers, they are they are doing everything today. They are doing everything today, and this is for visually challenged students. Um, the whole range. So there is a you can this is a paid link, so this is there and you can think of doing this, and this one is free of cost. This is not paid. This is not paid. uh, So this is another site which can be used, and you can see the person here, and it's affordable, simple, fast, intuitive. um, these are the usage of these software, functional, portable, international, open source. All these things are given over here, and you can use this. Those people who are, if you meet somebody who is good at who is PWD and is good at studies, you can recommend them some of these links to them. This was another point. Uh, Uh, what I have done in this whole lecture today, that besides defining the giving the definition of digital humanities and and uh, uh, and defining them, then origin and spread of digital humanities, leading to Corona, NEP, and leading to the examples of computational linguistics, call, mall, electronic literature. I have done that, and then I have talked about the use of the use in English department, and there I have talked of pedagogy and research is there, and then I have talked of some samples. Especially, I talked of Mrs. Dalloway's and other links I have given to you, which can be exploited for various purposes. And I have also given you a syllabus for special humanities, for mapping. Uh, so these are the scope, which can be uh, shared and which can be talked of. So the best thing, um, you know. Uh, you can think of summing it up by saying that digital humanities is still an emerging field, is still in its nascent stage. There is a technological divide between the East and the West. This point is there. This is very valid a point, but there is always a problem to a solution, and there is always a solution to the problem. So you have to think of in which category you belong to. DH in its present form and nature is technologically intensive. DH tools and their related scholarships require some knowledge of computers and specialized softwares. Remember that the times to come is digital. We have to think of, uh, the sooner we go digital, the better it is. Uh, Nowadays, people are writing everything digitalized. So, and since it is a multidiscipline, you have to collaborate with somebody, and you can do your research in this area. So nowadays there is a provision of RAC. When the RAC was not there, there was a provision of co-supervisor. So if you make use of these things for your research, you can and for publishing an article also, you can engage somebody from the area of medicine, from the area of engineering, from the area of computer science, and they can become a member, a participant, uh, um, co-researcher in your research areas. Um, these words I would like to refer to the references, which is not required right now. Thank you very much for your patience. I hope I could do some justice. Thank you very much.
Dear participants, the session is open for questions. If you have any, please type it in the chat box.
Chat box. Achievements.
Sir, we have one question here. It is being displayed on the screen. If you can please answer.
Uh, what conflicts? You are talking about availability of mobile, laptop. Are you talking of that? If you are talking of that, it means, I talked about the east and west in my limitations, and you can think of that. That is always there, and that is, uh, uh, in our family system is also, we some of us have some of us are very poor, and our families are big. So if three students or four students are going to school, they cannot, each one of them cannot have a mobile with them. So, but that phase is gone. Corona is finished. We can think of offline classes. I have talked about all these things with regard to offline classes. Uh, and I, actually, I thought of, you know, expecting, the time in the future, time in future. Uh, you know, the times to come is digital. That you have to understand. So, whatever limited resources you have, whatever you can do, you go for digital. That's my contention. Thank you. Yes, yes, I got it. Um, yeah, I said that there are two types of you can think of you can divide all of us into two groups. There are groups who always raise an issue. They have a problem to any solution. They have a problem to any solution. But there are others who have solution to problems. Which group you belong to, you have to think of that. The sooner you shift to uh, you know um, uh, you know it's better to talk of solutions than problems. That will help you. That will help you meet the challenges, face the challenges, and resolve it. I'm sure if you talk about your problems to people, they will come forward and resolve it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now I would like to invite Head Department of Languages, Integral University and Convener International Faculty Development Program, Dr. H.M. Arif Natwi, to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, morning. How
Good
are
morning.
you?
Sir. Fine, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you. Uh, so, dear participants, uh, all praises and thanks are due to the originator of everything, who has uh, connected us with each other, and all things really are under his control. Connectivity or a technical glitch that has occurred during the time. So, all praises and thanks are due to the Almighty, the originator of everything. So, we wish a very gracious good afternoon to all participants who have been taking part in each and every activity assigned by our conveners of this very important and informative international faculty development program organized by the Department of Languages. Thanks for the exemplary support and active involvement you are showing time and again, and really an extremely honored to propose vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Languages. I wish to extend hearty vote of thanks to your sir, and because of your knowledge with practical wisdom, and you showed it in your lecture. So on digital humanities or digital humanism. And this digital humanism or humanities reminds me of Dr. Bashir Bud's couplet, Urdu couplet. Dr. Bashir Bud well-known alumnus of AMU, and the couplet is well known to all of you, all and sundry. It says, जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से कोई हाथ भी न मिलाएगा, जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से कोई हाथ भी न मिलाएगा, ये नए मिजाज का शहर है, यहाँ फासले से मिला करो. So we should shake hand digitally. And sir, your very valid and enlightened lecture, especially on your lecture, greatly echoed on life on screen, जिंदगी पर्दे सीमी पर, और डिजिटल इंसानियत, यू कैन से रादर डिजिटल इंसानियत और जिंदगी पर्दे सीमी पर, और ऑन वर्चुअल लाइफ और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, that merging among us, among our cultural and cultural legacy and modern information. So, sorry for. Thanks for the best practices that reflected from your highly acknowledged presentation. And with these humble words, शुक्रिया आपकी इनायतों का, शुक्रिया आपकी इनायतों का, न छोड़ना ये रिश्ता रस्म व रिवायत का. And last, my sincere thanks to Dr. Vania ma'am for the marvelous introductory session, who is also the co-convener of the of this faculty development program. And heartfelt thanks to Dr. Arina, the convener, and to the organizing committee of the Department of Languages, who are participating and who are contributing with all their sincerity. Thank you again for your joining us and for sparing for us your valuable time. Thank you very much for sir. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is said that knowledge is not having and resting, but growing and becoming. Today's session has aptly justified the above statement by introducing us to a new dimension of looking at this new normal world. I thank our honorable speaker tonight for the session, for introducing us to a new theory of literature. I also expect our participants to take this baton of knowledge further through the assignments we update on ILI. Thank you, dear participants, for joining us today. And for rest of the sessions, you'll be updated on official WhatsApp group. Thank you, everyone.